Teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Big time. Big time. Big time. Big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of signs. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. It's running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time. Lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time. Going on. Got it in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Friday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. We got a jam-packed show for you today. Here's your panelist for the day. It's Dark Lit Room Trey, right in the middle there. We've got CJ, who's no longer in a log cabin in Canada. He's made his way back home to Western Pennsylvania. Amo is back on the show today and amped up for one reason or another. And we got Donnie Ricks. When you got sweatshirt, hoodie Donnie Ricks, you're getting the real deal. He's coming at you. A couple other guests that we'll have during the show today will pop up from time to time. But to get this show started, as always in 2022, we're doing On This Day in Sports History. And this is a local one, boys. On this day in sports history, 1984, Ray Boom Boom Mancini scores a third-round technical knockout of Buddy Chacon to retain his WBA lightweight title in Reno, Nevada. Chacon was so severely battered that he thanks the referee, Richard Steele, for stopping the fight. I don't even know where to go with that. I just thought it was very interesting.
That's the young son mentality. They hit hard.
Beat him so bad they thank the referee for stopping the fight.
If you looked at every boxing career of any of Kelly Pavlik's opponents, they've all gone downhill since. He is one of the hardest hitters to ever put on a boxing glove. Oh, and Boom Boom was the same way. I mean, Boom Boom killed the guy in the ring. I mean,
I was just going to ask you, didn't Boom Boom kill the guy?
He did, but that again, that's when you need to be, if you're in that that person's corner, you need to recognize you're letting your guy get slaughtered. You got to throw in the towel.
Wasn't that like a 12th round or 10th
Yeah,
round or something?
All those welterweight ones were
Dude,
15 rounders.
Man,
You all right, Amo?
dude, just not my day.
Did you not pay the America
Same here,
Online
Amo.
bill today?
First, you sounded like a chipmunk, and then you sounded like a slow motion robot. It was.
Like
we're
me.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
that
we're back.
Riccatelli GenNet or HughesNet Gen 4 or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Don't
Oh.
worry, Amo, at least we can make out your face and your room isn't pitch black.
I feel like
What is
Trey's
that?
given like an 11:30 to 2 a.m. time slot on HBO.
It's been a hell of a day. It's only 3:00.
Dude, I'm with you, Trey.
I can't win. I'm throwing in the towel.
Are you
Something
feeling
that-
any better, Trey?
Yeah, I feel better. I mean, I kicked it after a couple days, but it's just like you got to get your energy back and stuff. But I mean, I'm cool now.
Did you see a 2 o'clock show on HBO?
Yeah, like the 11:30 to 2 a.m. time slot is all about Trey Day, Trey night. You know,
It's bad. It's bad.
We were
man.
going over his lighting situation before the show.
I just can't win.
It was hilarious.
I can't win. It's whatever. You know what?
At
We'll
least you
fix
got
it.
your autographed Pet Narduzzi helmet behind you.
Yeah, the guy who I forgot who he was. Yeah,
yeah.
Coach will be on the show, guaranteed.
great.
He'll be.
Can't
he'll
wait
be
to get
commenting.
flamed.
He's gonna be on the same. He's gonna be on the same time Roethlisberger's coming on.
Hey, easy.
Ooh, hey.
Do you think I won't get Roethlisberger on your show?
You get Roethlisberger on this show, and you can have your own show. I will give you your own show right now.
You do know that these guys, when they become retired, they're bored out of their mind, right?
I have a hard time thinking that Ben Roethlisberger is going to be bored.
I don't know. After Sunday, he's gonna have a lot of time on his hands.
You
Listen.
shut your mouth
I
A
knew
year.
Donnie set
and
you
pay
up
your
for
light
that.
bill.
Listen, it's you know it's not the lights. It's how bright the lights. Okay.
A year after Jerome Bettis retired, I was on a plane with him going to. We were flying to LaGuardia. I was on a connector in LaGuardia going to Burlington, Vermont, and he was staying in New York for a show. My man put on about $120 after he retired, and he
went from looking like a fullback to a complete offensive lineman.
There were 8 of us on the plane, and he had about 6 rows all to himself, and it was crazy. Just 8 of us flying a small plane from Pittsburgh to LaGuardia.
Here you go, product placement for Chad Miller, by the way. A little body armor. If you need body armor or any Coca-Cola product, please hit up Chad Miller of Boardman, Ohio.
He'll deliver a machine right to your house.
Right to your small business. Uh-oh. Here's a guest. Siggy makes his appearance
Oh,
here on the Power Hour.
with the glasses. Mm-hmm.
See, the glasses make you look smart. Mine are for
Not
effect
disagreeing.
only. Just the blue lens.
He's wearing his gear too for the game this week.
How can you not? How can you not? It might be the last time. So Saturday and Sunday, I'll be wearing my Steelers gear. That's a guarantee.
That's what
Sorry,
I told
Donnie.
somebody at work today too.
Donnie's gonna have to put up with that tomorrow.
That's
At least.
okay. That's okay.
But it'll be Roethlisberger gear because that's about as fast as I can run now. So if we need to get out of there in a hurry, I'll be looking like a pregnant woman getting out of there, dude.
I'll be wearing gear too. It'll be a Patrick Mahomes hoodie.
Trey Day, what are you doing tomorrow night?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Probably gonna be watching football. That's about it.
You don't want to come do the Boardman Mooney game with me at Mooney?
I will gladly come do the Boardman Mooney game with you.
I'm
it
there.
is.
I will gladly come with you.
I'll be there at 6.
Look at Donnie.
Awesome.
He's like a
I'll be there.
veteran fisherman. Just
We got this.
I'll be there.
Got him. All right, boys. Today we're going to talk a lot about the coaching philosophies, the coaching situations here locally on the general regional landscape, as well as on the national landscape. Because something we don't talk a lot about is the coaching side of things and how coaches affect programs and seasons and decades and just general history of programs. So we have a lot of openings here in the Valley for football coaches. There was recently an immediate vacancy of a basketball program in the midst of a season. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Not necessarily the way it went down or transpired or necessarily that particular instance, but, when we sit there and talk about to our kids and ask them to do things, like when you start something, you should finish something. Should the same be instilled in our coaches? And should the coaches have to do the same thing? So we're going to talk a lot about very coach heavy today and just kind of leadership driven on today's Power Hour, because I feel like we just haven't covered it in such a long time. And with news, Donnie, we'll hit this real quick. Tomorrow, Boardman will have a new head football coach. Boardman is having which I think this is an awesome idea, keeping it close to the vest and having everybody be able to know who it is all at once on Saturday. It's a great surprise factor, the way it used to be done before kind of the dirt sheets known as the local media has come out. So, I mean, talk to me about your vision of this and how you're so proud of Boardman for going old school on this.
Well, and let me preface this by saying it would have been really nice to have this go the way that it should have gone, but you have your breaking news fake Adam Schefters of the local media that want to try to ruin what the school is trying to do and put stuff out there. So I'm sure a lot of people know already. It's already been leaked out, but if the only thing I could tell you guys respectively is tune in tomorrow, 12 o'clock on YSN Live. We're gonna go live. We're gonna cover the meeting and the conference and the introduction of the new head football coach, whoever that may be, which has already been leaked out that's who it was. But this is why I love the professionalism of YSN. We are not in the breaking news first to report business. We are the closers of the business. That's why you can go on after a game's done the next day and it'll be in the archives and you can purchase it for a small amount. And that's why you can go to every single game imaginable in the YSN family and watch it for free, because your sponsors believe in you and the community and the schools and everybody behind you believe in what YSN does. When you have a kid, a young kid that is trying.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
The suspense! Oh my! He had me hyped.
Damn it, Trey!
What? How?
Did I get cut out?
Yes.
Yeah, you did, dude. Perfect time.
And then it got blamed on me.
Oh.
You just bailed Trey out by coming back.
Oh, thank you, Donnie.
Where did I leave off?
Young kid.
Young kid.
When you have a young kid that wants to mirror what YSN's doing, the success of YSN and everything else, and he wants to be that first person to jump out there, what he doesn't understand is he really upset a lot of people in the Boardman School District by doing that. And by keeping it classy, keeping it professional, that's what we're going to do. So tomorrow, 12 o'clock, YSN Live, I'll be there to broadcast it. Hopefully maybe get a quick interview in with the new coach and be on my way to East as our Boardman Spartans girls basketball team faces East. But just anybody out there, just keep it classy. That's all I got to say.
Pissed. I know that there's a lot of people that are pissed about that.
I'm beyond pissed off.
I'm excited for the press conference, and that's part of the reason. Like what people don't understand is it's not laziness that we have; it's that we want to be like. I feel like people that are trying for that scoop are the same kids that are snooping around for their Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. Like, just wait,
Right.
Be part, and that's when you see real journalism at its finest, because then you get to find out with everybody else, and then. People are sitting there probably rolling their eyes at me right now, but it's what it is.
Nobody's going to remember first to report. Nobody.
No.
That'll never be the case. They're going to remember what a great story, or they're going to remember the situation, but it's not going to be first to report. First to report to me just seems like,
right.
And who got it right? 100%. it's so irritating because what Boardman Schools was trying to do was do it the right way and get the community involved, get as many people there as possible, have a nice little reception or whatnot afterward. It's like, let them have their moment. That's all I got. It just infuriates the hell out of me.
And
Wish
there's
some
a lot of
schools would
people
do that. I like that idea.
There's a lot of people that invested a lot of time into this, and typically what you'll see is a list of coaches come out. Boardman didn't do that this time. What they did was they kept everything internal, and they said, "Listen, we're going to take ownership of this. We're going to pick our guy." Wasn't optimal for what happened, but listen, at the same time, I think everybody understands why Seth did what he did. He left because that was his quote unquote home. He coached there for years. He had investment in the community. It's not that he meant any ill will, but it was a better career opportunity for him at the time. And given the situation, there's a lot of us that can sit here and say that we wouldn't have done the same thing, but we all have a family that we need to go home to as well, and that should be your first team. So,
sorry.
And DJ, Trey, real quick. I could have asked numerous times, and I could have been told who the coach was numerous times, but I respected their process.
Sure.
I have very, very great, solid relationships with the entire athletic department, with the entire school system of Boardman. I could have known a long time ago. I chose not to ask.
Isn't it more fun that way too?
It's so much more fun that way. You know what? I want to know when everybody else finds out.
Yep. Because you want to go through the emotions with other people.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I know nothing of any of the candidates. I knew nothing. I didn't even know who applied. I knew one person that applied, and that was it. That was only because, he
They told you.
He basically, told me. So,
but like,
we'll go there.
There's nothing more annoying than, and I get it, having the scoop, but that's like for professionals, right? That's their job. That they get paid a lot of money to do that, to get the scoop, to have those resources, to have those reliable sources. This isn't for high school. I mean, you're talking about a leader of young minds, whether it's on a boys' side or a girls' side, and they need to be respected too, because a lot of times they need time to tell their family. They need time to do all this, and so does everybody else. And from the standpoint of this particular coach, if indeed this is the way that they go, this coach is a well-respected individual in this area, and I think that it really needs to come to a head at this point. But with all that said and done, guys, I know we're going to do heavy on coach talk today. I want to ask you if you, and Amo, I know you are deep into this, and Siggy, I think you're in the same boat here. Ken Harris stepping down from West Branch earlier this week shocked a ton of people. There's a lot of people that were up in arms about this, not understanding why. But if you really read between the lines in the article that was done by the newspaper, and forgive me if I can't remember which one it was. So
Lions Review.
What is that? Who it was? The review? Yeah. Okay. Ken Harris.
They were the first ones to report it. I'm
Ken
sure there's
Harris,
other ones.
Ken Harris basically said that he's stepping down, not away, stepping down to be the offensive line, defensive line coach, because there was a younger coach on the staff that he thought could get his teeth cut right here at West Branch. And I also think that this young coach is one that is going to be wanted around the area because he is a local grad. He's a great football mind, and if it's the guy we're all thinking of, West Branch is going to be in great hands. Not only because Ken Harris is staying on the staff and that staff is staying intact, but the fact that he'll have the ability to have multiple head coaches on that staff to lean on as this West Branch team, which is going to be very good again, will now have new leadership and a new tribal chief, so to speak, as they head down the 2022 campaign. So my question for you guys is, when you look at things like that, stories can get wrapped up in so many different ways. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, here he comes. One of our guest speakers today, the one and the only Andy Hake of Valley
Hello, everybody. I see some dudes on here. What's up, fellas?
The modern American. There he is, Coach.
We love our country. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great. We're doing great. We just jumped into the Ken Harris talk about him stepping down at West Branch. He was on our show earlier this year. You know him very well. For him to step down and stay on the staff in order to give way to what could be the next big head coach in this area, talk to me about how that kind of resembles a great leadership.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Tim Cooper is going to be their next head coach. And Tim was the offensive coordinator. How you guys doing, man? It's good to see everybody. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I was actually at War Eagle Central here at Valley Christian, and the guys wouldn't let me leave. Hey, listen, this Timmy Cooper played for me at Western Reserve. And actually, he finished playing, and I think he was number 9 all-time in the state of Ohio with interceptions. And Timmy Cooper is a heck of a kid, and he went to play for Shepis at Waynesburg University. And Harris is a great guy. You know what? Very rarely do you see a guy do something like this. The Western Reserve job opened up, and I don't know if that played into it at all or anything, but Timmy is a graduate of there. And I don't know if they were harassing him to go there, and Tim talked to me about it, and I just, he said that Coach Harris was supporting whatever he did, and I told him, do what's in your heart, Tim, but you're in a great place, and I know they love you there. And next thing you know, Coach Harris stepped down, and he's still going to coach his line, his offense and defensive line. So very rarely do you see that. Harris is what a great dude. You don't see that's very humble, that's very supportive, and you could tell he really wants that program to be great. He cares about it, and Tim's going to do great. Hey, Tim's a good kid, and he's a good coach, and he works well with young people.
What are the advantages of surrounding yourself with other head coaches on your staff? So Ken steps down. He still has that head coaching on his resume. There's other members of that staff that have head coaches' resumes as well. What are the benefits for Tim to have those coaches on his staff?
Experience. You know, the world is experience. You know, I mean, when you have experience like that, I think that that goes more than a long way. That goes more than a long way. Having former head coaches on your staff, you know, it's just you get in these situations, and people have seen it, and then when they see it, they can relay, and help you out with experiences they went through. And I know when I've had former head coaches, Joe Stevens and Brian Shaner and my father, you know, when you have these people on your staff, it's like, hey, this makes a big difference. And it's because they've seen it. I don't want to say they've seen it all, but they've seen an awful lot, and then they can communicate with you about it. And hey, Kenny Harris has been around a long time, and Kenny Harris is a hell of a guy. And for Tim to have that guy stay on staff and back him the way he's backing him, and the kids are going to be loyal to the program. It just shows their program is solid and their program's intact. And it goes a lot. That's saying a lot for West Branch as a whole. It really is saying a lot for that school.
Yeah, that's huge, Donnie. To have guys on your staff, if you're starting a new staff and you have a couple of head coaches that say, "Hey, I want to be part of this," you're taking that at every turn, correct?
100%. I mean, just like Hake said, the experience is more valuable than anything, and the fact that you can basically run any scenario possible off of them, and you know, it's like a 3-headed monster if you look at it that way. So you definitely would want somebody with that kind of experience on your staff and build off of it. See, the best part about it is, like, those are the right kind of coaches. Like, they don't have ego. You set ego aside, and you're not a narcissist. You're doing it for the right reasons. Like Andy said, the program at West Branch just tells me that it's solid because you don't have a guy that's sitting there pounding his chest saying, "Look what we did this year." You know what I mean? So having as many head coaches, the correct head coaches too, though, the right people that are in it for the right reasons, that's invaluable.
CJ, if you're in a situation where you, as the head coach, see that there's an up-and-coming baseball mind, right? It's John Maxwell's laws of leadership, that it's the law of the lid. If you are a 7 and you see this youngster is going to be a 9, you get out of his way and you let him do it. It takes a lot of pride to swallow to do that as a head coach. And a lot of times it just depends on where you are in your career. But if you see that, I mean, you're a humble guy. Do you step aside and say, hey, maybe it's time for you to get some of your stripes now, so that way later on you could develop and go where you need to go? Is that something you can see yourself doing?
Maybe when I'm older.
See? It's exactly what I'm talking about.
I haven't yet. I'm not yet a head coach, but
Right.
and I do want to be one day. I tend to be more of a humble guy, yeah. And I think when I'm older, I would, if there was a younger guy that would, maybe doesn't have a family, would it be able to invest more time into it? I could definitely see it. It does take a lot of pride swallowing. You're dead right on that one. To just hand over the reins, you understand when maybe your time's up, and you got other younger guys that may do better.
Trey, you're in an interesting situation because you're still in it. You're still a student athlete in high school. Can you see? I mean, given this situation, a coach steps down, and and Andy out, I guess, having some connection issues. For a coach to step down but stay on the program, does it matter who's the lead if everybody kind of stays together as a family?
No, I really don't think so. I think it comes down to, if all the coaches are preaching the same message and everybody's kind of on the same page with each other, I don't think it matters as much. Sure, some coaches are going to have different, maybe main points of view on certain aspects of the game. For baseball, maybe one coach steps down that's primarily a hitting coach, and that's kind of his area of expertise, and then a pitching coach takes the head spot. So maybe the focus shifts a little bit more on the pitching side than the hitting side. But as long as the overall morals and those kind of things are still preached on the same way by each of the coaches, I don't think it matters that much. No.
Quinn, we got to go to you because you're the JV coach at Lisbon, and if there's a situation where you feel that you can grow, I'm not saying walk away from the program, but I'm saying do you ever feel like there's a situation where you can grow? Do you feel like you're in a position where you can kind of grow, you plant your roots and grow the tree a little bit from a situation of your career as a coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a head coach yet. I want to be one day, hopefully. But I mean, in basketball, there's a lot of great minds in our area that even if you jump to a different program to be another assistant, you're learning from other coaches to help build your career to where you can become a head coach one day. And, now you're in a great spot. At least that's how I'm kind of approaching it.
This is a great situation. I just realized we have a football coach, we've got basketball coaches, we have a baseball coach, we've got a soccer coach, and then we've got me and Sigler. So, and Sigler is he's an official, so he is way more registered than I am. So I don't want to put him in the same boat that I am. But my goodness, to have a conversation about coaching, boys, we hit the jackpot today from that angle. When you think about Amo, you're closest to this situation that's going on at West Branch. You're a West Branch grad. I mean, is this how West Branch has always been? Is a family atmosphere? It's, hey, listen, when Uncle Revis wants to take over the head of the table, we're gonna give it to him, because if he wants to wear the pants, we're gonna give him a shot to wear the pants.
Yeah, it's always been a family tradition there, especially for football, with Haycox and Altenhoffs, and then it went to DJ Doda, who took over, I believe it was my senior year, and my senior class wished they had him for 2 or 3 more years. That was the first time we beat Louisville in football, made playoffs. They wish they would have had him 2-3 years before. And I think he brought back that tradition, because West Branch kind of lost it there for a bit, where we weren't where we used to be. And then Doda brought it back he raised the bar, and Ken Harris has taken it above that, and has done a fantastic job. I got a couple of family members in there, and they love Ken. all
How
with
did you not?
yeah, and I think Ken realized that he could potentially lose Cooper, and I think the kids really respect him. The couple that I know, and they would have been heartbroken if they lost him because of what he's done to them and how he's helped them. So I know Ken personally because I graduated with his daughter. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, it surprised me, but it didn't surprise me that he did it because he's that kind of guy.
That he did it. It didn't surprise you how he did it.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy.
All right, so let's not forget that the West Branch Warriors basically still have the area's Tom Brady in Drew DeShields. So it's not like, you know, in a great job, no good coach, I should say, ever wants to leave the cupboard bare for the next coach because that's a reflection on how you are as a leader. Siggy, when you look at the roster of what West Branch has and what they accomplished last year and what they could possibly do in 2022 in repeating to where they were and maybe taking even a step forward, with Drew DeShields on the field, anything's possible.
You know, without a doubt, and that speaks more to the respect we all should have for the coach stepping down and giving it to somebody else with the cupboard full. That's where the ego steps in, and in this fact, we had none, and I think it speaks a lot to the trust that the head coach has stepping down, that they formed with this administration at the school, the program, to give it to somebody else that's on staff. There's no obligation there, but there's so much trust there that the reigning head coach would never give that up had that trust not be there. And that just speaks volumes to that whole program and the talent coming back to it be sitting there and you give the reins to an up-and-coming guy. Speaks volumes of the trust there amongst those coaches on that staff to fulfill that moving forward. It's just, to me, it's just mind-blowing.
We are going to take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, can coaching be a do as I say, not as I do culture, or does it have to be walk with me, talk with me situation for coaches to their student athletes? We'll talk about that and a lot more when we come back on the YSN Power Hour in 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local, independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
And welcome back to YSN's Power Hour. DJ Yoakley and the gang's all here. We got Quinn, we got Trey, we got Amo, we got D-Rix, we got CJ, we got Siggy, and we got the living legend himself, the
goat.
father of the American missile.
Oh.
He is Andy H.
We love our country.
Guys, before we took a break, we wanted to talk about, can coaching be a do as I say and not as I do, or do coaches have to reap what they sow in a perspective? Can, lately we saw a coach unfortunately resign in the middle of a season, for reasons unknown. Hopefully those aren't personal from a standpoint of any illness or riddance, I guess, in the family, but to walk away from a program in the midst of a season is trying to me. That throws up a bunch of red flags. Can coaches sit there and tell their kids to finish what they start? Can coaches sit there and tell their kids that you got to do it for your teammates, you got to do it for your team, and then turn their backs on them at some point and completely do opposite of what they say? Is all credibility lost in that situation? Andy, what are your thoughts on this?
Man, people are people, man, and you know what? You got to find yourself coaching. Like, you got to find how you can do it and communicate with people. Everybody's different. Everybody's different, and there isn't a right or wrong. I mean, I watched Bill Belichick for years, and the guy looks like a zombie. I mean, he talks to people like a zombie. I mean, Nick Saban. I mean, is there anything inspiring by how they act? But they're just so organized, and they talk very clear cut. They have expectations. And then you see people like Dabo Sweeney, who's a lot, more uppity and enthusiastic. And I just think you got to find out who you are and how you're going to communicate with people. And everybody loved Urban Meyer. He was the best coach ever till this year, right? And then he went to Jacksonville, and the guy looked like a total bust. And I'm not here nor there about him. I'm just, it's people are people, and certain situations. I guess you got to know where you're at and you go there. I tend to think that I'm a player's coach, and because I've always felt like I communicate with young people, whether it's at Rayen or Ridge or East or Western Reserve or now at Valley Christian. I don't really change how I approach things. I just feel like be good to kids and be good to your coaches and have expectations and then demand the living hell out of it. And if kids understand you care about them, it's always a funny thing my dad told me. Nobody cares what you know until they know that you care. Once they know that you care, they'll do, people pretty much do what you expect of them. But, don't be someone who you're not, and then be proud of, whatever you do. I know some teams I've had, the worst team I've ever coached was one year East, we went 5-5, and I thought that was the best coaching we ever did. We just didn't have the talent that year, but we coached the living hell out of the kids, and they responded properly. Other teams, we went 8-2, 9-1, and maybe you thought, we underachieved. So it's like, just be good to people and go from there. I think that's the key, for me at least, and then try not to judge everybody, because everybody, communicates different with people, I think Urban Meyer maybe went into Jacksonville and thought, I'm going to be the same way I was at Ohio State. And grown men aren't going to respond the same way. And they're going to think, you're playing head games and what the hell is wrong with this guy? And then, some of the things that come out about him, you find out that nobody's ever as good or as bad as they seem to be. There's always a fine line. So, I'm really slack-jawed about this whole Harris thing, though. You guys probably, some of you guys know him well. And like Coach said, you went to school there, and that was really something. You don't see that a whole lot. People be humbled and just step down from a position where the guy might have went 10-0 again this year. The guy might have went 10-0, and very few people will do that, And who knows? Jimmy Cooper told me the kids were really upset when he told them, "Hey, I'm stepping down," and the kids were really upset. Nobody was forcing him out of there. He did it out of his own heart. So you know what? And he had every intention of propping Timmy Cooper up and going to go coach for him. So you don't see that today, especially this age of selfishness and what's in it for me. It's good to see people out there that are doing it for the right reasons.
I love it. When you look at it, Quinn, from your standpoint, do you coach your kids to do as you say and not as you do, or do you want to fight in the trenches with them? Do you want to be a player's coach so that way they know if they need something, whether it's in basketball or life, they can count on you for support?
Yeah, the second option. That was way too long for me to repeat, but yeah. I'm all about that. You know, I'm going to go to battle with the guys no matter what. Whether it's on the AAU side with the girls or at Lisbon with the guys. You know, every game we're gonna go work. We're gonna go to battle, and I'm gonna do everything I can to help them succeed and get through basically any problems that they might have. And you know, it's lifelong. I'll be there no matter what. Doors always open. Give me a call. I'll be there.
Trey, are you looking for a coach that wants to get down in the foxhole with you, or are you looking for a coach that says, hey, I'm the coach, you're the player, you do what I say, and we're going to win?
Yeah, I think that going in the, a coach who will go in the foxhole with you, that's what I'm looking for. I have a head coach this year, and Coach Kemp, that, while we're lifting, he could probably outlift about 95% of the kids in there. Probably can't beat Brady, but the rest of the guys he could probably outlift. So to see a guy that is not afraid to get in there with you and lift with you and try and motivate you in that way, it's pretty inspiring, because it makes you feel like you're all in it together. As corny as that may sound, it's true. To see a coach that'll really get in there with you and go to battle with you, opposed to just saying, hey, do this while I sit down and watch you do it. It's pretty cool. So definitely that for sure.
Hey, Mo, you've been able to see a lot of coaches, a lot of different styles. When you're looking at a player's coach versus I want to say a fan's coach or a administration coach, which one do you want to see the majority of the time, no matter where you're at in life?
So I'm different.
Yes,
I like criticism. So I love to be coached. I know I'm not perfect. I know I can always be better. So I like the player's coach, but to be honest, I just want a coach that's honest with me. Like, Moser, you suck, dude. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I like that.
Quinn, that's yours.
Yeah.
Quinn's your coach.
Yeah. My soccer coach is like that though. He got the best out of me, and I mean, I'm not going to name his name because of troubles he just went through, but I still would do anything for him because of how honest he was with me at all times. And my golf coach, Lynn Grove, I would probably say one of the greatest golf coaches in Ohio. He's had over 600 wins. I mean, he was the same. I was actually going to play soccer my freshman year, and I was in his 8th grade math class. And he said, "Moser, why are you throwing away golf?" I was like, "Because I'm really good at soccer." And he said, no, you're coming with me. I can do a lot with you. So I went with him and kind of dominated. Then went to soccer.
Dominated. Stamping.
Yeah. But I like to be coached, though. So, and my manager's like that now at UTEC. He likes to be hard on me. Donnie knows him. Randy Schmidt. Yeah. So that's how I am. I like to be just told the truth. I could care less if it's hard to hear, though.
Let's do a twist here, Donnie, as we get to you. Coaches make mistakes. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Coaches are human too. They can make mistakes, and every kid is different, especially nowadays. They need to be handled different. But a lot of times what you'll see is kids will walk off the team or quit the team. How do you handle that? Do you change yourself, or do you stay stiff as a board and say, listen, this is who we are, this is our expectation? Can you bring them back without necessarily coddling that kid and trying to make up for something, I guess is the question.
Well, I think the first thing you do is you definitely, as a coach, you definitely look in the mirror and say, okay, is it a player problem or a coaching problem? Is my style not right for them, and maybe that's why they're upset and they're not playing? But if you were basically being a narcissist, think that your way is the only way, you're not adaptable, you're not going to change your ways, then it's probably a look in the mirror. It's a coaching problem. And if a girl or a boy or whoever wants to come back onto the team, then you have to sit down with them, sit down with their parents, and review the expectations of what they, what you have and what they have, and then see if that's going to be a better fit. But if you're not willing to change or adapt either way as a player or a coach, then it's probably not going to be that good fit. I used to tell my girls all the time, the last thing I'm going to tell you guys is I am not always going to be right. And don't you ever think you can't challenge me on that. If you can challenge me on anything, I promise you I will not take it out on you in any negative way. I'm going to give you the opportunity to show me why you deserve more playing time, why I should be putting you in this situation. So I would never waver from that. And the, like Andy was saying earlier, just being that player's coach, makes a world of difference because you're not just likable amongst them, you're likable amongst their families. The administration sees that, hey, you know what, this is more like a family atmosphere, and that's what you want to drive. That these kids will be friends for years and years and years after the 4 years they have in high school. And you want to make sure that you leave a legacy on them that hey, you know what, they had a blast because they were teammates in my program. So I would never be that guy that stands there and says it's my way or the highway. That's, oh God, that just makes me want to puke.
CJ, from a standpoint as an assistant coach, sometimes you're the player's best friend, but you're also the coach's best friend because you are oftentimes the link to the players, being that they don't always feel comfortable going to a head coach with a problem or a scenario. How do you balance that situation? How do you make sure that you're doing the right thing on both sides all the time?
Yeah, and that was the most challenging thing for me when I first started coaching, because I first started my freshman year of college, so 4 years ago. And a lot of my players the year before were my teammates, so, and ever since then, I've taken more of a responsibility of, I also coach our summer ball and I also coach our fall ball. So I see these kids about 9 months out of the year. The relationships I've formed with them have been very close, very fruitful, and has really helped our program, I think. Our head coach is a little different. He only, he comes around pretty much for the baseball season. We'll see him a couple times in summer. We don't see him in fall. So that in and of itself, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but it's important, just to have somebody around, just to have somebody around all the time, and understand what the kids, may be going through in whatever they are in their lives. And whenever they're struggling, understanding, okay, how can we fix it? How can we get out of this? Maybe the head coach doesn't know that. And so I'm able to help him understand it and listen, here's something the kid may be going through right now, maybe give him a little bit of slack, but that's, it's important for a staff to have that, somebody that the kids can talk to and just they can go up to and say, whatever they have to say, and they're not going to be punished for it, and they know they're not going to be hurt for it and whatever. But that was the biggest thing for me when I first started coaching, to get over, okay, I'm not these guys' teammates anymore. I'm more than that.
You're a mentor.
I'm a mentor, yeah.
Chris, from your standpoint, you spent a lot of time officiating. You've seen a lot of coaches and a lot of different coaching styles. Why are there some that work and some that absolutely do not?
Well, I'm gonna spin that too. I'm gonna use my own coaching experience as well, being a prior boys coach and girls coach, and running youth programs when I was my prior life at the YMCA. Sure. I think everything comes down to trust, and I'm a firm, hard believer in that. I'll never steer away from that. That once these kids trust you, they'll run through a wall for you, and I totally believe that. And I use my own experience. I'm still friends with my very first junior high basketball coach when I was 13 years old. That he went to every one of our weddings. He's been around for our whole entire adult lives for 30 years. We've been friends with this guy, and you learn a lot from that. And I believe it's as simple as knowing a kid's name at a very young age. I tell everybody this: the minute you look at a 7 or 8 year old and you're in an important position, whether it's the coach or whether it's the director of the program, you know that kid's name. They look at you, you got them.
Yep.
And that is so important to a little kid, to a mid-level kid, to a teenager, even a high school kid, a freshman coming on the team for the first time. The varsity coach knows your name. Look out. And to me, that's where it lies. And that is so important to me, and it always has been, and it always will be.
Andy, I hear you you agreeing. You like that?
I think you guys are all making great points. I'm not trying to be. I just think you guys all have good insight. And I always look at it like this, man. I'm never the smartest guy in the room. And when you look at it like that, you can learn and you can get better and you can learn from other people. When you go in, like Don said, and you're narcissistic and you think you got all the answers, you find out real quick you don't know. You're setting yourself up for failure. Does that make sense? I mean, it's just when you're listening to other people that have these experiences and you can learn from people, man. And everybody here is saying stuff that that make great points, and it's good. It's refreshing to hear from other coaches in other sports also, because I hear from these narcissistic football coaches all the time that they got all the answers right before they get fired. You know what I mean? They know all the answers, and then their ass is fired, or they're on the chopping block, or whatever, or they're 1 minute away from the next parent coming in and giving them hell. So it's just good to hear. It's refreshing to hear other people that have different, maybe not the same way you're looking at it, but damn it, that's smart. They're making great points, and it works for them. And you can pick up from everybody. You sure as hell can. You can pick up from everybody.
Nobody spits it like Hake. I'll always.
Well, I don't know about that.
I love it.
I know this. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, so at least what I mean. Start from that narrative, and you can get better.
Hey, I never heard chip in a chair before, and after you said it on our broadcast a couple weeks in a row, man, it was like it was wildfire around the Youngstown area.
How could you have never heard chip in a chair before?
A chip in a chair, and that
That's all you need is a chip in a chair.
That's it, buddy. Hey, that's it.
I love it. All right, let's go with lightning round here before we get to our Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark? The one thing I want to know from you, as majority of you, actually all of you, in some capacity have coached, what is a coaching superpower? If you had to take one thing out of your utility belt as a head coach, or would be as a head coach, what would it be? What's the one thing you want to be known for? Quinn, we'll start with you.
I mean, for me, it'd be graduation rate and stuff like that, but it's like moving on to college and stuff like that, more so along the lines of that, seeing all my players succeed and stuff like that. From a coaching standpoint, kind of the Jeff Rizzo mentality of press the hell out of you and create turnovers and go score.
I like it. All right, Trey, what's the superpower for your coaching style?
Energy, man. Energy. Good and high energy. The worst thing you could have in a sports program, in my opinion, is low and bad energy. The first thing that when I walk into a weight room with my guys is there's good energy, there's music going, everybody's hyped up to be there, and that's when that's replicated and mirrored by the coach. That's the most important thing in my opinion. So I'm going to go with high and good energy.
We have one vote for authenticity coming from the Yoakley Manor in Sarah Yoakley. Amo, what's your superpower for coaching?
Honesty.
Summed up well,
Simple.
my friend. Summed up well. Donnie Riccatelli.
I'm gonna steal a little bit of Quinn and Trey. The energy, and we're gonna pressure the hell out of you. Good luck.
Good luck. I like it. CJ.
Mine is approachability and fairness. Both of them, I think, for me, have really aided me in my coaching career thus far.
And also have to hate Bob nutting. So.
And you have to hate Bob, yes.
Siggy.
Be real. What you see is what you get. Not a chameleon.
I like it. Let's
I thought he was
go.
going to say trust.
Hake, what do you got for your superpower?
I taught history for 15 years, man. What is it that attracts people to leaders? What is it? You know what? For me, it's like a humble confidence. Be humble, but be confident at the same time in what you're doing and what you're talking about. But be humble, man. Don't be above approach or above criticism. And, I think the great leaders in history, they had a humble confidence about themselves. So, I just think you have to exude your own confidence in what you believe in. And how are you going to get other people to believe you if you don't believe? So you got to be confident about it, but you got to be humble enough to not be the smartest guy in the room, right? I mean, really. So I just think there's a humble confidence about things, and that attracts people to people in general.
I love it. All right, it is time.
What the hell do I know, though? What the hell do I know? You know what I mean? What the hell do I know? But whatever works for you, and if you're winning, I guess you got all the right answers. You know what I mean?
It's time now for the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Coach, we'll let you in on it in just a second and what this is. Hang tight. It's the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them on the web at DickeyElectric.com. Joe Dickey Electric proudly powering the Valley for over 60 years. All right, Coach, so what the breakdown is on this is you get to put something on a pedestal or you get to absolutely put them on a chopping block. So you get to pick one thing that is a positive spark or one thing that is a negative spark, or you can have one of each, whatever's good for you. So we're going to start, so we'll let Coach Hake go last because I just got a feeling that he's going to bring it with some cheese on it. So Quinn, what do you have for your spark today? No pressure, Andy.
Couple things. I mean, it's good to be back with all you guys finally talking coaching and stuff like that. It's awesome. Positive spark. Playing Palestine today. Can't wait to get in the gym, get to coach against Tristan. I love playing against him and coaching against him. So just excited for that.
Are you getting rowdy?
Possibly. If there's a T-shirt involved, maybe. We'll see.
Trey, what's your spark?
I got two, a negative and a positive. I'll start with the negative and with the positive. The negative is just be respectful, please, of people's wishes. Don't spoil anything. Nobody likes a spoiler, and nobody likes people who show disrespect to people's wishes. So don't be that guy. And the positive is we have a great sports weekend. There is a lot of great NFL games. We get to see Big Ben officially retire. And there is
good NBA. Go ahead and say something about the NBA. I'll cut you off.
There's good local basketball games. And there's a great UFC card with one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC and Calvin Kattar. Great sports weekend. Let's go.
And the Raptors play the Nuggets.
Big Ben
Jackass.
going home.
Amo, what do you got?
Can I be like the Senators and give my time to Donnie Riccatelli?
Sure.
No. Positive. I guess it's a mix. I had to take my dog into the emergency vet last night, and let's just say I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, and I'm running on fumes. And today at work was everything went wrong. But we're here. I get to watch some games tonight. Get to celebrate my sister-in-law's birthday. So
happy birthday!
Happy birthday to her, and I forward my time to Donnie Riccatelli.
The Senator.
All right, listen. So we're not even going to touch that negative spark because Trey nailed it. Trey nailed it. The honest to goodness, and also that negative spark doesn't warrant any additional time because of the POS that they are. So the positive spark is going to be that because we're not on air tomorrow, my Bourbon Boys basketball team gets to go for 4 in a row at the vaunted Cardinal Mooney Fieldhouse, where Trey and I are going to call the game together, baby. Let's go.
Trey might not be there.
Yes, he will. He's coming.
CJ.
So mine is a positive. Since we're talking about coaching, I was reflecting on my kids while everyone was, talking niceties, and I'm very proud of my varsity kids as we're going through winter workouts. They're all showing up, and I'm so happy about that. It's gonna, all of the work we're putting in now is gonna really impact our spring season, and I'm so excited for it. I'm counting down the days. March 7th can't come fast enough.
Attaboy. Siggy.
Actually, I have two positive sparks. The first one, I'm going to give a positive spark to Donnie. him putting that out today and previewing what's coming tomorrow is exactly what we need and exactly what YSN's all about. So I think that deserves a lot of attention. To piggyback off of his point earlier, though, my other spark is, some outlets can post scores all they want and say that they're the best coverage in town. But what Donnie said rang true for me. Wrote a story today regarding the United girls basketball game last night, and it was a very special night. They had a memorial fund. It was Kim and Ashley Bergman, and they actually paid for every student to get into the game for free from each school. Ashley Bergman was a former alumni of a United, former player there, and a teacher at Southern. And she tragically passed away a little over a year ago, unexpectedly. And it was a very special night. My brother did a great job. The other coaches did a great job putting a jersey on the bench for Bergs, as we called her. She's a good friend of mine, and it was a great night, and it was great to see. So that's my positive spark, is hopefully I was able to just justifiably put that out there on what it meant to be at that game last night and describe the game and the event more than just putting the score out there. So
that's awesome. I'll go, and then I'll let Coach put a bow on her. Mine is a positive spark. This is the weekend that we celebrate my father-in-law's birthday. I'm excited. There's not a whole lot of people that I would give up a Steeler game, especially a Steeler playoff game for, but he is certainly one of them. He is, especially ever since I lost my father at 23 years old, he has stepped in to fill a big vacant role in my life as a mentor and someone who supports and loves a son. So I can't wait to celebrate his birthday and all the great things that are happening because of the arrows pointed up right now for all of us in the family, and we're so blessed to be able to say that after the rocky road that we've all walked. And I'm not saying that we're the only ones that have ever done it, but it's been a long time coming, and I can't wait to see all the smiling faces around the dinner table this Sunday. So, Pop, we love you, and we can't wait to hang out with you. All right, Hake, give us your spark, baby.
I got 3 sparks. First of all, Ashley Bergman, I taught with her. What a wonderful person she was. Hey, I mean that. My first one goes to you, brother, for even mentioning her, because when you said that, I thought, my gosh, she was a wonderful person. Treated kids right, and that was a terrible tragedy, her passing. I taught with her. She was a hell of a person. Number 2, it's an honor being here with you, gentlemen. It's an honor to be with patriots and countrymen. Believe me when I tell you that. And number 3, gentlemen, they're not doing this in any other country. They're not talking about this in any other country. They're not doing it in North Korea. They're sure as hell not doing it in China. We're the only ones doing it, guys. You gotta love our country. You gotta love the U.S., whether you're a D or you're an R or you're anything. I'll tell you what, this is fun shit. I love you, gentlemen. God bless you. In America, gentlemen. America.
There it is. That is our show. That is a perfect bow. Have a great weekend from all of us here at YSN. Welcome, Andy Hake, to the Power Hour. We'll see you guys later.
You got that right.
YSN thanks you for watching this